He road narrowed the deeper we drove. "Elena," I said, gripping the door handle. "Are you sure this isn't private land?" Elena laughed, leaning forward as her jeep rattled over another branch. I triple-checked the map. Public trailhead. Redwood National. Perfectly legal. Behind us, Zara stuck her head out the window like a dog. "Smells like Bigfoot's armpit out here." "I love it." Jordan, riding beside her, chimed in. "You would. Last time we hiked, you tried to marry a pine tree." "That tree respected me," Zara shot back. "Unlike you," I smiled, but only a little. My stomach had been tight for the last hour, and not just because of Elena's driving. It was the trees. They were too tall. Too old. Like they remembered things they shouldn't. We parked at a makeshift trailhead. No signs. Just a faded orange ribbon tied to a sapling. "You said this would be secluded, not no service." "No return," Jordan muttered as he took his pack from the trunk. "That's the point," Elena replied, brushing leaves off her jacket. 3 days. No phones, no work, no pressure, and no creepy flashlight killers, I hope," Zara added with a grin. I forced a laugh. "Not unless you packed one." No one noticed how I lingered beside the jeep, staring into the trees. We hiked 2 miles into the redwoods before setting up camp. Zara laid out the sleeping bags. Jordan started a fire, and Elena checked the solar battery packs. I mostly sat on a log and watched the light bleed through the canopy. Gold turned orange. Orange faded to gray. "You okay?" Elena asked quietly. I nodded. "Yeah, just tired." "You sure you wanted to come?" "I needed to," I said. We all did. Later, we sat around the fire, sipping cheap whiskey and roasting marshmallows like we were in college again. Jordan told a dumb ghost story about a logger who lost his head to a swinging axe and still haunted the trees. Muttering warnings in Morse code. ... he whispered, tapping his fingers on Zara's shoulder. She slapped his hand away. "Try that after dark and I'll actually kill you." "I'll film it," Elena offered. "Get us the views we deserve." We laughed, but I kept glancing at the trees. They seemed closer now. After dinner, I wandered a few yards from camp to record something for myself. Not for Instagram. Not for the group, just for me. I held up my phone and hit record. "My name is Maya. This is day 1. Redwood Forest," I hesitated. My brother used to say redwoods were the safest trees, that their roots hold on to each other underground. So even if one falls, the others keep it from breaking. I swallowed. I never told them what really happened. I hit stop, then deleted it. That night, in the tent I shared with Elena, I woke up twice, once to the sound of leaves crunching, and once to what I thought was breathing, close, right outside the nylon wall. I held my breath, waited. Nothing. Then, click. A faint sound, like a flashlight switch. Then a soft beam of white light moved across the fabric of the tent. Back and forth. Slow. Searching. I reached for Elena's arm, but she was already awake. She mouthed, "What is that?" I shook my head. We listened. The beam disappeared, no footsteps, just silence. In the morning, no one else had heard it. "Probably just moonlight," Jordan shrugged. "There's no moon," I said. They stared. "You sure you weren't dreaming?" Elena asked gently. I didn't answer. Instead, I turned toward the forest, and for a moment, I saw it. A single flashlight beam, floating, still, watching. And then it clicked off. The beam didn't come back the next morning, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. I told myself it was a ranger, a stray hiker, a trick of light. Anything but what I knew I saw. We packed up camp and hiked deeper into the trees. No signal, no maps, just Elena's compass and Tyler's sense of superiority. "Elena, if you make me hike into a murder documentary..." "I'm haunting your Spotify," Zara called ahead. "You'd finally be useful," Elena replied. Grinning, everyone laughed again, except me. Around noon, we reached the new site, a tight clearing between 3 massive redwoods. The sun barely reached the ground, but the moss glowed green like some ancient thing was still breathing underneath. "I love it," Elena said. "It's perfect." "It's horrifying," Zara corrected. "But cute horrifying." "It's silent," Jordan muttered. Too silent, he was right. No birds, no bugs. No wind, just trees. Watching. That afternoon, we explored the nearby ridge. Tyler insisted he heard water, and we followed him for nearly half an hour until we reached a small stream. "See?" he said smugly. "Told you it was here." "I owe you a sarcastic apology," Zara said, bending to fill her bottle. While the others joked, I stayed back, eyes on the trail behind us. "Still worried?" Elena asked softly. I nodded. "There was someone out there last night." "You didn't see anyone." "I saw the light." Her face softened. "Maybe you're just shaken up." "It's okay if this is hard. After everything." "It's not about him," I snapped. Elena blinked. "I didn't say it was," I turned away. "Let's go back." That night around the fire, we played Truth or Drink, one of Zara's twisted traditions. Jordan went first. "Maya, what's the biggest lie you've ever told?" The flames popped, everyone laughed, I didn't. "I lied about seeing someone," I said, eyes on the fire. "A long time ago. And they got hurt." Silence, Zara shifted. "Damn, okay. Your turn," Jordan said quickly. "Ask anyone," I smiled faintly. "Zara, have you ever seen a ghost?" She chuckled. "Besides your poker face?" "No." Laughter again, but it sounded thinner this time. Later, we all crawled into our tents and I lay awake, waiting. And around 2 a.m., it came back. Click then light, a beam, slicing across the camp, low and slow like it was hunting. Not waving, not random, searching. I sat up and stared out the mesh of the tent. There was no hand holding it, no body, just the beam floating between the trees like an eye. Zara's tent zipped. "Who the hell is that?" she hissed, Elena's whisper. "Turn your light off." Jordan, "It's not one of us?" Tyler, "What do you mean not one of us?" We all looked. The beam froze. Like it knew. "It's watching us," Zara whispered. "No," I said, heart racing. "It was before. What do we do?" Elena asked. "Wait." And we did. For nearly an hour. The beam didn't move. Until I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, it was closer. "You saw that, right?" I whispered. Everyone nodded. No one breathed. The beam now hovered just 10 feet from Zara's tent. Still no source, no sound. Just light cutting clean through the trees, steady and unnatural. "It's closer," Tyler muttered. "Who has a drone?" Jordan asked, pulling his jacket tighter. "You think someone's messing with us?" "No drone hovers that still," Elena said. Zara whispered. "Should we call out?" "Say something?" I said nothing. I knew better. Jordan clicked on his phone's flashlight. "Hey," he shouted, stepping out of his tent. "This isn't funny, man. You're creeping us out." The beam didn't move, didn't flicker, didn't even acknowledge him. Jordan took a step forward. "Come on, you got a death wish or something?" Still no response. He looked back at us. "See? Probably some Twitch camper trying to..." He blinked. The beam darted forward, instantly closing the gap to 5 feet. Jordan stumbled backward. "Nope, nope, nope, nope." He dove back into his tent like it would help. Tyler cursed under his breath. "This is wrong. This is seriously wrong." Elena grabbed my arm. "Why did it move when he blinked?" "I don't know," I whispered. But I did, because it had done it before. "We can't sleep like this," Zara said, her voice cracking. "We don't," I said. "We watch it, together?" she asked. I nodded. No one argued. We all sat by the fire in a circle, backs turned toward one another, eyes fixed on the beam. It hovered near the edge of camp, completely still. But each time one of us blinked or looked away, it advanced an inch. "I feel like we're in a video game," Tyler whispered. "Like SCP. What was it?" "The statue that kills you if you blink?" "Elena," Zara said. "You got any of those no-dose pills?" Elena tossed her a bottle. "I thought this trip was about relaxing." Zara dry laughed. "That ship sailed when Flashlight Demon showed up. We tried everything, keeping one person on rotation to blink while the other stared, splashing water on our faces, taping our eyelids. None of it worked for long. Tyler blinked during his shift, and the beam was suddenly right behind him. "Move," I shouted, grabbing his hoodie and yanking him away. We scrambled backward. The beam stood exactly where he'd been, a breath closer, too close. "This thing's playing with us," Jordan said. "It's not attacking, just waiting." "It wants something," I murmured. Zara scoffed. "Yeah, our organs." "No," I said slowly. "It's testing us." At dawn, the beam disappeared by like someone clicked it off. We collapsed in silence. No sleep, dry mouths, racing hearts. No one said it out loud, but we all knew the truth. It wasn't gone, just hiding in daylight. I say we hike out, Tyler said while boiling coffee water. We're 8 miles in, Elena replied. And no GPS. You want to get lost with that thing out there? We can follow the sun, he said. Not if it follows us first, I added. They all looked at me. I shrugged. You saw what it did, Jordan pointed at me. You're too calm, like, too prepared. What? You're acting like you've seen this before. I didn't answer because he wasn't wrong. That night, we tried a new tactic. No fire, no talking, no movement. We sat in our tents with our backs against the nylon, each of us facing a different direction, eyes open, watching, waiting. Around 2:14 a.m., I saw it again. Click, the beam returned, but this time it didn't hover. It searched, sweeping left to right, slow, patient, like a predator that already knew where we were. My eyes burned from staying open too long. I blinked. Once the beam jumped right outside my tent flap. I didn't scream. I didn't move. I just whispered to myself, "Don't look." By morning, no one had slept. No one said it, but I saw it on their faces. Swollen eyes, jittery hands, that raw, low-level panic just beneath the surface. Elena poured instant coffee with shaking fingers. I counted, she whispered. 37 times. The light passed by our tent. Never touched it, never entered. Just circled. Tyler groaned, rubbing his temples. I'm done. We leave. Now. Jordan flinched as something cracked in the woods. A squirrel. Maybe. I second that. It's watching us, Zara muttered. It doesn't want us to leave. You're paranoid, Tyler snapped. No, I said. She's right. They all turned to me. Jordan narrowed his eyes. You know more than you're saying. I don't. Yes, you do, Elena interrupted. You've been acting off since the drive-up. You barely sleep, you always stay behind, and that first night you said it wasn't a person before we even looked. I opened my mouth, closed it. Zara stood slowly. Maya, what is it? I looked into the trees. I saw it once before, a year ago. Where? Jordan asked, voice tight. Same kind of place, different forest. My brother and I were camping. Elena blinked. You never told me you went camping with him after. I didn't, I said. Because we weren't supposed to. I made him promise not to post anything about it, just us, just one night. Tyler crossed his arms. And a beam showed up. Just like this. Zara sat down, slowly. What happened to him? He disappeared. No one spoke. I swallowed. I turned away for half a second. The beam was right on top of him. He screamed, and then nothing. No blood, no body, just a burnt circle in the dirt. Jordan scoffed. And you just left that out? What? Was I supposed to say? That a flashlight ghost took my brother? You could have warned us, Elena snapped. I thought it was over, I cried. I thought it was just a trauma thing, something in my head, but now it's back. Tyler stood. I'm not dying out here because of your ghost story. It's not a story, I whispered. Cool. Then stay and hug trees. I'm getting out. We can't split up, Zara said quickly. She wants us to stay, Tyler barked, pointing at me. You saw it. It follows her. This thing, this light, it's after her. I stood, voice shaking. Then let me go. Everyone froze. I'll leave. Alone. If it's me it wants, I'll lead it away. That's suicide, Elena said. We're not doing that. Jordan crossed his arms. And if it's not after her? What if it's testing us? We sat in tense silence. Then Zara whispered, I had a dream last night. There was a voice, a man. He said, someone here is lying. Goosebumps crawled up my arms. What if this isn't random? She asked. What if it wants something else? Like what? Elena asked. Zara looked at me. Like the truth. That night we didn't try to sleep. We sat around the cold fire pit, every tent zipped and unused. The beam didn't show up until after midnight. Click. It appeared at the edge of camp. Everyone turned. We stared, and then it did something new. It flickered. Not randomly. Not broken. It flashed in a pattern. 3 short bursts. 1 long. 2 short. That's Morse code, Jordan whispered. Nope, Tyler said, standing. Done. Out. Wait. I reached for him. He shoved past me, stomping toward the woods. I'm not playing ghost charades. I'm done. Tyler, don't, Elena called. He turned back, flipping us off. That's when the beam turned toward him. Fast and bright. He froze. Guys. We ran to him. The light blazed, then shut off completely. Total darkness. A scream ripped through the trees, high, sharp, cut off mid-breath by the time we reached him. He was gone. No blood, just burn marks in the dirt. And his flashlight, still on. By morning, no one had slept. No one said it, but I saw it on their faces. Swollen eyes, jittery hands, that raw, low-level panic just beneath the surface. Elena poured instant coffee with shaking fingers. I counted, she whispered. 37 times. The light passed by our tent. Never touched it, never entered. Just circled. Tyler groaned, rubbing his temples. I'm done. We leave. Now. Jordan flinched as something cracked in the woods. A squirrel, maybe. I second that. It's watching us, Zara muttered. It doesn't want us to leave. You're paranoid, Tyler snapped. No, I said. She's right, they all turned to me. Jordan narrowed his eyes. You know more than you're saying. I don't. Yes, you do, Elena interrupted. You've been acting off since the drive up. You barely sleep, you always stay behind, and that first night you said it wasn't a person before we even looked. I opened my mouth, closed it. Zara stood slowly. Maya, what is it? I looked into the trees. I saw it once before. A year ago. Where? Jordan asked, voice tight. Same kind of place. Different forest. My brother and I were camping. Elena blinked. You never told me you went camping with him after. I didn't, I said. Because we weren't supposed to. I made him promise not to post anything about it. Just us, just one night. Tyler crossed his arms. And a beam showed up. Just like this, Zara sat down slowly. What happened to him? He disappeared. No one spoke, I swallowed. I turned away for half a second. The beam was right on top of him. He screamed. And then, nothing. No blood, no body. Just a burnt circle in the dirt, Jordan scoffed. And you just left that out? What was I supposed to say? That a flashlight ghost took my brother? You could have warned us, Elena snapped. I thought it was over. I cried. I thought it was just a trauma thing. Something in my head. But now, it's back, Tyler stood. I'm not dying out here because of your ghost story. It's not a story, I whispered. Cool. Then stay and hug trees. I'm getting out. We can't split up, Zara said quickly. She wants us to stay, Tyler barked, pointing at me. You saw it, it follows her. This thing, this light, it's after her. I stood, voice shaking. Then let me go. Everyone froze. I'll leave. Alone. If it's me it wants, I'll lead it away. That's suicide, Elena said. We're not doing that. Jordan crossed his arms. And if it's not after her? What if it's testing us? We sat in tense silence. Then Zara whispered, I had a dream last night. There was a voice, a man. He said, someone here is lying. Goosebumps crawled up my arms. What if this isn't random? She asked. What if it wants something else? Like what? Elena asked. Zara looked at me. Like the truth. That night we didn't try to sleep. We sat around the cold fire pit. Every tent zipped and unused. The beam didn't show up until after midnight. Click. It appeared at the edge of camp. Everyone turned. We stared, and then it did something new. It flickered. Not randomly. Not broken. It flashed in a pattern. 3 short bursts. 1 long. 2 short, that's Morse code, Jordan whispered. Nope, Tyler said, standing. Done, out. Wait. I reached for him. He shoved past me, stomping toward the woods. I'm not playing ghost charades. I'm done. Tyler, don't. Elena called. He turned back, flipping us off. That's when the beam turned toward him. Fast and bright. He froze. Guys, We ran to him, the light blazed, then shut off completely. Total darkness. A scream ripped through the trees. High, sharp, cut off mid-breath. By the time we reached him, he was gone. No blood, just burn marks in the dirt, and his flashlight still on. We didn't move for a long time, even after the light was gone, even after Zara vanished, even after the air stopped smelling like burned pine. She meant it, Elena whispered. Jordan was still staring at the empty space Zara had stood in. Why would it say that? She told the truth. No, I said. She told us the truth. Not the truth it wanted. He looked at me. And you know which truth that is? No, I said honestly. But I think it does. We moved camp. Not because it helped, but because sitting in the same place made us feel like targets. We didn't sleep. We didn't speak much. Every now and then, I thought I heard footsteps circling us, soft and dragging, but I told myself it was branches or wind. Then, I heard the voice again. It came just before sunrise, a whisper, like breath on my ear. You left me. I sat up. Elena stirred beside me. Maya? I turned. Did you hear that? Hear what? I swallowed. Nothing. But I knew that voice. Back when I was 15, I had a nightmare that I buried so deep I convinced myself it never happened. My brother Alex and I were in the woods behind our childhood home. We'd found an old trail, one no one used anymore. He dared me to follow him into a clearing. Said he'd heard. Whispers. That's where we saw the first beam, just a flicker. It vanished. Alex never talked about it again. Neither did I. I forgot, until now. By midday, Jordan cracked. He paced the clearing, rambling. We need to try again. Confess more. Mean it this time. I don't want to end up like Tyler or Zara. Slow down, Elena said. We don't even know if that's what it wants. Oh, really? He snapped. Because every time someone opens their mouth and says something real, it flashes like a damn lie detector. He turned to me. Maya, say it, all of it. No more of this vague survivor guilt crap. I stood still. He stepped closer. You knew. From the beginning. You saw this thing. You brought us here. I didn't know it would follow me, I said softly. So it followed you. I nodded. His voice dropped. Then this is your fault. Elena stepped between us. Enough! We're not turning on each other. But it was too late. We already had. That night I left the tent. I couldn't sleep, anyway. I wandered back to the burned patch where Zara vanished and sat in silence. I whispered, I'm sorry. No answer. Then, click, the beam blinked on between the trees. I didn't flinch, I didn't run, I just said, what do you want from me? The light twitched. Then it flickered. Morse again. I grabbed my phone and filmed it. Played it back in slow motion. Wrote the flashes down, 3 letters. Yelena found me just before dawn. Maya, she said, what are you doing out here? It asked me a question, I whispered. She sat beside me. What? Why? Elena didn't speak for a moment. Then she said quietly, why didn't you help him? Tears blurred my vision. I whispered because I was scared. The light didn't come back the next night. But Jordan did something worse. He left. No warning. No note. Just gone. We found Jordan's empty tent at dawn, still zipped from the inside, sleeping bag untouched, boots gone. No, Elena whispered, shaking her head. He wouldn't leave without telling us. Not now. I turned toward the trees. He didn't leave. We followed faint footprints through the underbrush, scattered, heavy at first, then light, erratic, as if he'd started running. They stopped near the stream. No splash, no drag marks, just silence, and a faint scorch on a nearby rock. He thought he could outrun it, I said softly. He was wrong. Elena's fist clenched. Then what now? Sit here and wait for it to pick us off one by one? I didn't answer. Because I didn't know. Because it was already doing that. Back at camp, we sat across from each other, 2 ghosts in borrowed skin. I dreamed of my brother again, I finally said. He wasn't angry, just sad. Elena stared at the fire pit, her voice hollow. I dreamed of Zara. She was screaming, but her mouth was closed, like something took her voice. We sat in silence for a while, then she looked up. Why didn't you tell me everything from the beginning? Because I was afraid, I said. Because if I said it out loud, it would mean I let him die. Did you? I hesitated. I didn't stop it. I didn't even try. Elena leaned forward. Then tell me now. All of it. I nodded slowly. The night it happened.
Alex and I got lost.
I told him it was fine, but I had no idea where we were. We argued. I blamed him for dragging me out there. He blamed me for panicking. I swallowed hard. I walked off, left him there, just for a few minutes. And when you came back, she whispered, the beam was on him. He was frozen. His eyes were wide like he saw something behind the light. He didn't scream. He just disappeared. Tears burned my throat. I ran. I told the rangers we got separated. I said I found his pack near a ravine. I lied to them, to my parents, to myself. The trees were listening. I could feel it, the entire forest, holding its breath. That night, the beam returned. But this time, it didn't stay at a distance. It came directly into the camp, stopped at the fire pit, and hovered. I stood and faced it. I told the truth, I said, all of it. Are you satisfied? Flash once, twice, then it turned it toward Elena. No, I whispered. She stood. It's not me at once. Elena, don't. But she stepped forward. I haven't been honest either, she said, voice shaking. Not with you. Not with myself. The beam stayed still. When your brother disappeared, I knew you were lying, she whispered. You told me you hadn't gone out, but I found your hiking boots drying behind your house. I didn't say anything. I didn't push. I let it go, flash, flash, flash. Elena's breath hitched. Because deep down, I didn't want to lose you too. The beam began to dim. Then it flickered one last time. Thank you, and it vanished. We didn't sleep that night, but for the first time, we weren't afraid. By morning, it still hadn't come back. No beam, no flicker, no click. Just dew on the tent and birdsong, the first we'd heard in days. Elena crouched by the fire pit, chewing dry granola. Maybe it's done. I stared into the trees. Or maybe it's deciding. She looked over. Why did it thank me? Because you finally said what you were hiding. It wasn't that big of a secret. To you, maybe. But it was part of the story. You were a witness, she paused, granola forgotten. Witness to what? The truth, I said. The thing I couldn't carry alone. We spent the rest of the morning checking our gear. Neither of us said it, but we were both thinking it. We had to leave. This place was sick with memory and silence. We packed light, ditched the tents, and decided to hike back toward the jeep, retracing every step. Halfway through the second mile, the fog came fast, too fast. It poured down the hills like smoke from a burning house. I don't like this, Elena muttered, her hand gripping the compass like it could protect her. We stopped at a fork, one that hadn't been there before. Two paths, one to the left, narrow and broken, one to the right, smooth and unnatural. This isn't right, she said. I know, she pointed. We didn't come from that direction. Neither of them feel familiar. I turned slowly, trying to hear anything beyond the fog. Then a sound broke through, a voice, far off, calling my name. Maya. I froze. It was his voice, Alex. Elena grabbed my arm. You hear that? I nodded slowly. It's not real, she said. It's trying to mess with you. Tears welled in my eyes. But it sounds like him. I know, she whispered. That's the trap. We took the left path, the more broken one. Every few feet I heard it again. Maya. But I didn't answer. Not this time. An hour later, we found Jordan's boots, just standing upright in the middle of the trail, perfectly placed, untouched. Elena reached forward, then pulled her hand back. They're warm. We didn't touch them again. 10 minutes later, we found a clearing, flat ground, scorch marks, and in the center, burned into the earth, a message. Witness me. Elena stared at it. It wants people to see. I nodded. That's why it's not killing everyone. Not right away. It waits, it watches. It learns what you're hiding. Then it makes you choose, confess or vanish. She looked sick. But why us? Why now? I took a shaky breath. Because we're the kind of people who bury things, secrets, guilt, shame, and this forest. It's listening. Maybe it always has been. We camped under a fallen tree that night, too tired to run, too numb to plan. Elena curled beside me, and for the first time since we got here, I held her hand. Maya, she whispered in the dark, yeah? If we don't make it out? Don't say that, just listen. If we don't, I want you to know I'm proud of you. For telling the truth, for facing it. I squeezed her hand. You too. Then silence, then click. The sound was soft, barely more than a breath, but it cut through the dark like a gunshot. Elena and I sat up at the same time. The beam was already there, just beyond the fallen tree. Silent. Hovering. Watching. Maya, she whispered. Don't move. I nodded, heart pounding. The beam didn't flicker, didn't shift, just stared. Elena looked at me. We can't run. I know. We have to end it. I swallowed hard. How? She reached into her bag, pulled out my camera. The footage, she said. We show the world. We witness it. I shook my head. It's not about exposure. Then what? Why did it say witness? Because it needs someone to carry the truth. Elena stood slowly. I grabbed her wrist. No. Her voice trembled. It's me now. It's both of us, I said. But it started with me, it ends with me. I stepped out from under the log. The beam didn't move. I stared directly into it, eyes wide, blinking slowly. No surge, no flare, just light. I took another step forward. You want to witness? Flash. Yes. I kept walking. The world faded around me. Trees, fog, dirt, all blurring into pale shadows. I felt weightless, cold, like walking through smoke. And then I saw him, Alex, standing in a clearing that shouldn't exist. Alive. Still 15. Still barefoot in his hoodie. Maya? He whispered. Tears welled instantly. Alex. He shook his head. Why are you here? To see you. To say I'm sorry. He stepped back. You should have run. The beam moved again, faster now, splitting into 3, then 5, then dozens of pale lights spiraling through the trees. They formed a circle around us. Alex looked up. They don't forgive, Maya. They just feed. What are they? He looked at me, eyes hollow. Memories, regrets. The things we hide from even ourselves. This place, he pointed to the trees. This place grows them. The lights pulsed. My skin burned. Alex stepped back again. You can still go. No, I said. Not without you. He smiled, sad and broken. You already did. Then he vanished. The lights surged. I screamed. I felt every lie I'd ever told tear through me like glass. The night I left him. The stories I made up. The years I buried it all, I dropped to my knees. The world cracked, and then Elena's voice. Faint. Distant. Maya. Come back. I blinked. The lights exploded into ash, and everything went dark. I woke up to her arms around me. You were gone, she whispered. I saw him, I said, shaking. I think they let me. Why? I opened my palm. Inside was a stone, smooth, black, burned into it. Witness complete. We didn't speak much after that. We just walked, and walked until the trees began to thin, until the fog lifted, until we saw the road again. I didn't cry when we made it back to the Jeep, didn't scream, didn't celebrate, just sat down in the passenger seat and stared at the forest line. The redwood trees looked smaller now, less ancient, less threatening, but the silence still felt too loud. Elena turned the key. The engine started on the second try. We didn't look back. At the first gas station, we stopped, while she went inside for supplies. I pulled the SD card from my camera and slid it into my laptop. Folder after folder. Hours of footage, footprints, flashlight beams, the voice, Zara's last confession, Jordan's panic, the clearing, my brother, the lights, the forest, all of it, there. I clicked upload. Title: Do not camp here. Redwood Forest, real footage. Description: I don't know what I saw. I don't know what took them. This isn't a ghost story. This is a warning. I didn't edit much, didn't trim the parts where we cried or screamed or said nothing. It all didn't blur the burn marks or the place where Zara disappeared. I left it raw. Deserved to be. Back on the road, Elena watched the view count tick upward from her phone. 24,000 in 2 hours. Good, I said. People need to know. What if it finds them? I stared at the horizon. Then maybe it'll find someone who needs to confess. A week later, I got an email. No subject, no sender, just a video link. I hesitated, then clicked grainy footage. A man. Late 20s, in the forest. He's pointing at the trees, laughing nervously. Yo, this is where that viral chick said her friends vanished, right? He swings the camera around. Fake scream, a joke, and then, click, the beam appears behind him. He doesn't see it, but the camera does. He turns, eyes, widen, screams. The screen goes black. Close the laptop. Elena looked at me. Was it real? I nodded. It's still there. She sat beside me. What do we do now? I turned to her and I whispered the only thing I knew was true. We